Hello traders, the following video is taken from one of our trading rooms which we run every day within our crew community. In these trading rooms we are looking at live price action in real time. In this example you will see a short position that we took on Bitcoin that we're able to take at the exact high of the day before a massive drop in price. We're able to use technical analysis and order flow in order to take this trade. Of course, as with all the content that we provide, this is done for educational purposes and we are simply stating our opinion on the market. All the viewers must always make their own decisions when executing any trade of their own. Now, these trading rooms are part of a service that we provide for our crew membership. If you would like to learn more about this, then please do visit toroscrypto.com, where you can find out more about how to join the crew. This particular example is taken from our London trading room, which happens as part of a set schedule, which includes live trading rooms, daily market updates, educational material, and trading strategies, and much, much more. We just got to get out of this range in terms of the profile. It's just very, very, very balanced. Any bounce back into this region will be considered as very strong support or resistance. So the historical volatility, it's just so incredibly low that it has to move out of this. There's really nowhere else to go. Like on the 4 hour, you can see here, it's just so low, the volatility. And the previous times that we've seen that, you've had a nice kind of expanding of the range, and then we've had this breakdown from the previous range here, which is again what we were expecting to happen at that time. The fact that we're sloping up here doesn't make me particularly confident that if we are going to get volatility, it's going to be up. I would rather see volatility increasing with a grind down and then it can spike up. So this probably leads me to think that short positions are maybe a little bit more favorable at the moment. The move that comes out of this is going to be pretty violent. Yeah, I would expect a big move. And again, we can look back at previous examples of this, and the last time we've seen sustained volatility this low was actually a really, really similar situation where you have a range that is stepping up. You come down, you grind into support, which is exactly what we're doing here. We're grinding into that support. Volatility just dies off. And then as you get that move, it's a quick spike up, which again, quick spike up, maybe into that NPOC that we're looking for, and then an immediate rejection and a massive drop. For a lot of people, that was pretty much carnage, but for a trader, it brings life back into the market and gives you stuff to trade again. So this is a bit annoying with all the lines on the chart, but this is kind of a fractal of what we've seen back here. We're just grinding down into this support region on very, very low volatility. It is similar to what we've seen in the past. You have the weekly open there and you have the monthly open there. You want to see price just come up into it, just get a bit of a rejection and then just try and scale short. In order to turn that into a scalp, you'd want to see some kind of SFP or some kind of mini little distribution up at the highs. So let's say this does continue to come up here. It starts to slow as price comes in here and then kind of tails off, and then you get like that SFP. Then what that can give you is that short to take that back down, because that gives you the confidence that it's coming at the right kind of time of day. So this could start to do it at the weekly open. It might not get this high. The reason I wanted it to go this high was to get a better short to take back down if it goes higher, but we will monitor this to see where we are.
I mean, I'm waiting for volatility, and I'll go into voice chat. If there's volatility, I'm always up for voice chat. But
yeah,
just so anyone in here thinking I'm not,
we're all bored at the moment.
It's been quite sideways. I don't feel the jump.
Unless you're trading Luna, yeah, it's bored.
Oh my god, we should have a vote whether we should ban P from saying any mention of Luna or CRO. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we've kind of covered Bitcoin in quite a lot of detail here. We've got some trades that are fairly hidden and how we'd like to see them taken. We'll see how this progresses. It's coming into that region. You know the kind of thing that you want to be looking for as you get here. So it's in the right area. You could feel some confidence in taking a trade. I mean, we hit the 618. So that in general, like how many times the 618 is going to cause a reaction. I just would like to see it grind through it and just hold out here a little bit longer before it fails. ETH's done, like, again, like actually short on ETH here. It's basically what we were looking for already. I'm not in a trade on Ethereum, but I would be very, very, very tempted to short this. You've got the monthly level. You've just come up and you filled the single prints. You've done that at the same speed fan that supported us after the same conditions last time. I wasn't actually expecting this to get a rise up.
I can be wrong here. Just a thought process. I don't like the way those lows have like curled up in that sense. Just from like my first initial thoughts on it, I would assume we do come and take that out on Ethereum like that.
Just the way that looks there.
Yeah, I'm not really fond of that. So it's like more so I'd expect them to move down. The same way we saw that on Bitcoin, like towards the highs, which it can take up the highs and then dump it. But you know, when you see something like that where it's making consecutive higher lows but not taking liquidity, it's like people like going to trail their stops and rest it below there. So it's like the market's always going to be attracted towards that.
This is what we wanted. This was the expansion outside of the range. This is the area that you're looking to take the shorts from. This is where the confluence has been for such a long time. I mean, there's your break in market structure. So you've got an invalidation off of that. You've got massive reward. It's there as an opportunity, and I'm very confident price is going to come back down to these lows down here. Okay, that's 20k taken. So for me, I'd feel okay with shorts here. Certainly I take profit on my long. It's just getting the timing and the judgment there in order to take things back down. But you've come back and you've filled in 1 minute inefficiencies. You have bearish divergence against previous highs. So I've just taken the short, which is now a hedge against the long that I had already. We're just coming back into where we had that excess at the high. Yeah, invalidation is the high. This has gone high enough for me to feel okay. So what I've done, taken profit on a long and opened a short. I just want to short that. And that's not based off of anything local. That's just something I want to be doing because we're in this region. It was my plan to short ETH today, so there we go.
Obviously now you want to see a change in that market structure would be coming down.
Yeah.
Because that's quite basically right there.
That's the low that took the high. Yeah. I mean, this is playing out again. The decision for myself was off of that second high. When you're trading, it's the feel that you get, and you just at some point you're like, okay, I'm looking for an entry. I'm looking for an entry. Is it working? And through all of this, it's like, I don't know. And sometimes that causes you to miss something. So sometimes that just, I don't know if I want to enter, causes you to miss something. But as this continues, the risk of taking a short gets less and less and less the higher up it goes. So I quite like to wait, but in the same sense, I like to be kind of aggressive as soon as I do see an opportunity that I feel confident with. Like I was like, okay, cool. We've come into the 618. Yeah. We've come into the weekly open. Yeah. And it wasn't really until you just started to see the high and then you're coming back up into it. And I'm like, you know what, as we're coming back up into it, we've got some excess there. We did have a bit of a drop. We did have a bit of a spike in volume to push up into that region. And it didn't really go that much higher that, okay, cool. I'm just going to try it as a trade, feeling confident that I think we're going to come back into this point of control at some point. What I would do then as a change of market structure is then I would probably look to, and this is the way that I like to do things just to manage my own risk, is I can be aggressive on a short position. And then if price goes higher, fine, I'm just not quite making the profit that I would have done if I was just holding along. But I'm equally positioned now so that if, for example, price comes down, changes market structure, you come back into the weekly open, at this stage, I can probably close out of that long position and just allow the short to take over and then place an invalidation on the short here so that I know I've made X amount of profit, extra profit on the long as you come back up into it. And then worst case scenario, you just lose that short as well. And then you're going back flat again. So you're just trying to maximize both positions as much as you can. Then if that invalidation doesn't get hit and you come back up into here, so after a change of local market structure, you come back up into here, which will be around about that 618 anyway. then what you can do is try and maximize the short if you're coming back into the POC of the current day POC as a take profit, and then coming back down towards that naked session point of control in the daily open that we have lower. At the moment, there's not really any confirmation that the idea is correct until we see those things being met, like a change of market structure and so on. Once it starts to do that, then you can start to look to increase that risk on that trade, knowing more where the invalidation off of that is. And the other reason why I like to be aggressive, especially in low volume environments, is this might change market structure and it might never bounce. You might never get that bounce. It might just go all the way down. And that happens so often as well. So again, I don't really want to miss that trade. If that happens, then I need to make a decision of how to get out of that long position, because I don't want that long position to get rid of all the profit that it was making. And then I need to think of an invalidation on that long position already. So, okay, we've changed market structure. We're not getting a bounce. Do I wait for a bounce at the POC and try and get out of my long there and allow the short to follow through, or what? So you never know what the market's going to do. You just got to make money from it. I made money on the way up, and there's a good opportunity to make money on the way down now. So there's a break in market structure. At this point, I'm not going to take profit. So the reason I'm not going to take profit, and this again, kind of complicated, the reason I'm not taking profit on the short here is I have a short that is equal to the long. So if I take profit on the short now and the short keeps running, I'm actually losing money. Because my long is losing more profit than the short is making. So what I want to do, first of all, now that I've had confirmation that that idea as a short is right, I want to get out of the long. So the first priority for myself is to take the rest of my profit at the long at the best value that I can. And that, I am hoping, is from a bounce at the daily point of control that takes us back up towards that weekly open. Yeah, I mean, like, technically you can take a long from the VWAP and the daily point of control here. Again, a TP on a short, or allowing a bounce in order to get a TP out and close out of a long, is preferable for myself. I certainly don't want to compound a long position here. I certainly don't want to add another trade to what I've got and take along from this. I just want to maximize what I'm already in. Run below VWAP, absorb below, bounce above. Depending on what happens around the New York Open, with the potential for volatility around there, we'll see what happens. I might jump back on later, or one of us may do, depending on what we get. Cool. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.